Now this lens has really surprised me. It's light, it's small, it's ultra wide angle, wide aperture, prime lens from Sigma. Sigma shouldn't really surprise me, shouldn't surprise me at all quality wise or anyway, but it is an APS-C lens and somehow I was expecting less than this. This is brand new Sigma 12mm f1.4 APS-C lens, and it's available right now for Fuji, which I'm testing it on, Fuji-X mount, obviously Sony-E mount, and also Canon RF for Canon RF mount APS-C cameras. This is a full frame equivalent to about 18mm, so very ultra wide angle, and that wide aperture makes it quite special in this size. I have seen 18mm lenses, full frame lenses at f1.8, but I have never seen lens this wide angle, this wide aperture, this small and this light. And because of that, it is quite unique. It looks very inconspicuous because it is so small, but don't judge the book by its cover. This lens is really good. This is a perfect lens, perfect focal length for travel photography, for traveling with obviously the landscape, architecture, and also astrophotography, for example. It is very hard these days to get inferior lens, especially from any of the major brands. Sigma is leading the way, making still lenses which are the third party, not the camera manufacturer brand, but making lenses very high end, but slightly more affordable. F1.4 aperture allows you to shoot in the lower lighting conditions, obviously, but sharpness this lens delivers is outstanding, as you would expect from Sigma, but even at f1.4 the sharpness is there from edge to edge. It delivers beautiful color and contrast across the board, really what you expect from a high quality lens. What's really surprising with the lens with this wide aperture, that there's almost zero chromatic aberration. There is some, but very, very little, which makes it perfect for astrophotography. The purple fringing doesn't show on every star. It delivers beautiful color and contrast, as you would expect from a lens at this price range. But also the ghosting and flaring is very well suppressed. It doesn't lose contrast when you shoot towards the strong light sources. And it is a lens really fun to shoot with. The autofocus works pretty well. I am testing it on Fuji-X S20, which is not ideally a perfect camera for testing autofocus, but on this camera it works very well, so I can only imagine that on Canon or Sony it will work significantly better or without any problems. As with majority of ultra wide angle lenses, you can focus with it fairly close, 17 centimeters here, roughly about 17 centimeters, which allows you to shoot quite good looking close-ups. The wide angle distorts the perspective, giving you a little bit different, bit more unusual look when you get really close to your subject with this lens. I can't see any vignetting even when I put a filter on it, and it is a very good lens for video. That kind of focal length 18mm makes it suitable for enhancing the sense of motion, like with most wide angle lenses. Perfect for gimbal work, for example, but also for handheld vlogging or any kind of vlogging when you want to show you and as much surrounding as you possibly can. There is some focus breathing visible. I don't think it's a huge problem with a wide angle lens like this, but there is focus breathing, so be aware of that. For those of you who shoot only video with full frame Sony or Canon cameras, this is pretty good for video because it gives you about 18mm focal length, ultra wide angle with f1.4 aperture, this small. Ideal for run and gun gimbal work without compromising on quality, but giving you a smaller lens. Built, it is small, as I said before. As you can see, this is a f1.4 lens, which is very unique for any f1.4 lens to be this small. It weighs only 225 grams, which makes it the perfect lens for carrying with you all day when traveling or hiking, for landscape photography or astro. It's just, yeah, it's unique to have a wide aperture, wide angle lens this small. Perfect match for APS-C cameras from Sony, Canon or Fuji. It just The size fits perfectly the smaller camera bodies, which APS-C cameras usually have, or they do have. 62mm filter thread, superbly smooth focus ring. It's clicked with clicks, aperture, manual aperture ring with no lock switch or any switch on the lens at all. Very simple construction. Aperture ring as well. When you got a Canon version on Canon RF camera, you can program to do different things. It acts as a function ring. On the Sony and Fuji, is just the aperture ring with clicks. It has got a splash and dust proof construction. I would imagine it's not a proper heavy duty weather sealing, but it is protected against light splashes and dust. And there's no stabilized lens, not expected really to have a stabilized lens at this focal length. It's all about image quality, not the buttons or switches. Nice looking lens overall. Price and value for money. When it comes to APS-C lenses, I think automatically, cheaper and more inferior, but this is neither of those things. It's a very high quality lens and the price reflects that. £512 in UK or $629 in US. It is small, it is light, it is f1.4. In this instance, I'm testing it on Fuji-X 20 and there's literally no other lens with this spec like this. For Sony users, there are other options available, but yeah, they're all cheaper and not as good as this. I'm talking about Viltrox 15mm, which is quite old now, or Samyang 12mm, much cheaper and inferior lens to this. On Canon APS-C, you literally got nothing from Canon to compete with this or the brand. This is a very high quality autofocusing wide angle lens, suitable for a lot of applications. You have to think what you are getting here for the money, not just the price tag. This is a high quality, reliable Sigma lens, which will not disappoint when you need that wide angle field of view. Conclusion, there's just something special about this lens. It's seemingly just another little APS-C lens, but the quality it delivers is outstanding and it has even surprised me, and I have used a lot of Sigma lenses before. Regardless if you are using Sony, Canon or the Fuji versions of this lens, there's literally nothing to compete from the camera brands or the major manufacturers with this spec. The size and weight and the wide aperture make it a perfect travel lens. I do love traveling with the wide angle lenses. It's more versatile in my opinion when you travel to shoot wide or wide angle close-ups than having 50mm, for example, or even zoom. It's more challenging but more rewarding when you nail those wide angle results. This is a perfect choice for any APS-C camera. Superb Sigma signature quality, and I do highly recommend this lens. Check it out if you can. And this is it from me. If you like this video, give me a like, comment below, tell me what you think about this lens, and I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching.